We are coming off of a major losing streak, and here's where we're sitting on the week. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we show you that trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. Really, I'm on this prop firm journey and taking the blows with the goes and everything in between. So here's the deal. I did not do a video last week. First of all, I had a ton of text issues, and second of all, it was Mother's Day. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the 2.1 million in less than a year in generated profits. Of course, I have not kept all that in my dreams, but I'm just sharing this real live, what it's like going from trading live capital profitably in the CFDs and now into future space and of course prop firms. Of course, my psychology has just been a hot mess, not going to fib, but we're going to talk about that. So here is where we're sitting on the month. This is May 2026. As you guys can see, I want to go to a perfectly green month to show the good too, but to be honest, there hasn't been one. April was a nightmare of a mess. Just going back to the last few months, you guys can see them all. If you're new to the channel, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Outlier kind of days. We've got tech issues. I've just bounced around from so many different copiers in terms of the bugs that come with copying, and then of course my own tilt and my own psychology. So these are all funded accounts. Needless to say, my payouts have still been averaging about that 30,000, 35,000. I think the most is 40,000, the smallest is 20. In terms of per month of what payouts I'm actually getting from all these firms. Now, granted, some of these accounts I built up a long time, and then just you lose a lot in the process. This was traveling in Spain, a whole nightmare of a mess. I had a death in the family. I was doing way too much while traveling. And to be fair, most importantly, my psychology was not great. None of this, I think only one of these was like a bad tech day. I think this week was just tech bad. I had tech and then tilt and then just could not get back on the right side. But this is April though, and I promise to share the real journey, right? This is the real ugly, awful journey. So technically, net positive by 29,000 in terms of achieved gains, because these are, again, all funded accounts, but you get the idea. Now into May, I've really been just battling my mindset to get back to normal, right? Fast forward to this day. Now, mind you, this is all based off of all of these accounts are all futures accounts with the exception of my Dragonfly that I do have hooked up. It's not a main service we offer if you have not checked it out. Not service, but an EA, which is pretty awesome. I've been running it for a couple of years, really low and slow. So the only reason why this is showing any money at all for this is because of the Dragonfly. On Friday of last week, I ended up losing literally every single account that I had. All of them gone. Even this wasn't enough to cost me the accounts. Obviously, I'm less room in some of them. But here we go. I had a NinjaTrader nonsense where not only did it all freeze up, but I couldn't get back in. And then when I did get back in, I thought everything was fine, and it had orders open at the end of the day. So it is what it is. That just cost me a full ton. It was a huge head flip, especially after you just saw the red. So again, I don't have any trades on this day because of the way it updated. It's not going to show all of that because it all erased on all of that. So that would be a huge red day to tell you guys the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But these are just Dragonfly results. Minimal amounts of profit for this 1, 2, 3 days. Starting back on Tuesday. Of course, it took me a little while to pass the accounts. I went ahead and went with Futures Elite. If you have not checked them out, believe it or not, I literally think they're the cheapest because if you buy 10 accounts, it's $60 a piece, no activation fee. So I started it last week. It took a day or two to pass them. I've got 10 funded accounts now, and I'm on day 3. That's where we're sitting right now. So we'll see. In theory, that could be a $10,000, $20,000 payout loading next week. Of course, I've got my top steps up still running, which I'll do that as well this month. But that's where we're sitting. I have a couple of take profit, a couple of funded next, and 2 apexes. And that's what all of this is. So I had to get past all the buffers to get those accounts back going. Take profit trader, I still don't have any live accounts with. Obviously, if you're buying any of these firms, please use code 6FTC and support us in everything that we're doing. But dear diary, this is what it's felt like. What I'm going to do about coming off of this losing streak. Really, I am first and foremost buckling down. In fact, I think I'm going to make a video on what it's like to do the high-risk compounding that I used to do a long time ago. So think something like this. And if you're interested in this kind of content, definitely let me know because I think it's going to be something that just is not out there. We're all supposed to label ourselves an expert, and I feel like some people really overdo that topic, but I was really good at this, okay? I was good at taking a very small amount of money, knowing that I would blow it, knowing that a couple of times that I try this, I'm going to inevitably fail. But 1 out of X amount of tries, I'm going to hit a bigger number. So taking a small account, think a couple $100, and turning it into 6 figures. This is obviously the law of large numbers are probably not going to get you here, even if your psychology does. But figure you're risking anywhere from 8, 9, 10%. I usually stuck around that level. Usually when I went to that 13, I usually messed up catastrophically, to tell you the whole truth. But you get the idea. $500 risking a huge amount per trade, averaging a 70% win rate, and let's just do a 1.25 realized risk to reward. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the F9 button to let this auto-populate. the wins and losses fall randomly. You can't control where those losses fall. Sometimes they're going to fall down here, and of course, it's going to cost you more. It's going to stop you from your goal. Sometimes the losses don't come in this batch as much. Sometimes they come toward the front end. So that allows you to turn $500 into, let's just say, 6 figures. It is possible. It's something we have done. We've done it a couple of times. But I bring this up to say, I think I want to make a video on how trading prop firms feels as high pressure and as high stress as that was. Now, the difference is, obviously there are many, with that, you kind of do that once or twice, you take a break. You do that once or twice, you go back to regular trading, you go back to your regular stuff, and you have a mental and emotional reprieve. In prop firms, there's no reprieve, okay? There's no timeout moment. It's just ongoing, ever, never, never. And it feels some kind of way. But either way, no good excuses. I've got some tech things I can blame, sure, fair and square. But most of my psychology in the last 6 weeks or so has been 100% on me. Poor performance, tilt behavior, mismanaging. And that's just not where I want to be to achieve this 6 and 7 figure payout goal. So unlike other creators, I'm showing you what the real red month looks like, right? This is pretty ugly, obviously. I had built up quite a bit of accounts to quite a bit of capital. My biggest one, I think I had nearly 320,000. That's how much I had generated in that account. But either way, point is, that's insane, right? And to lose all of that work. So here's what we're going to do in today's video. I'm going to talk about what trades we took this week, review the market. God knows NQ only goes one way, and that is up. So I'm going to work on shutting my little mouth a little bit more on those sell side things because, man, sells are just so quick. It's like elevator down, right? It's like whoosh. So quick, it's so fun. This week I came in a lot more disciplined. We've marked up a couple of levels. We hit that level perfectly. We got those 40 points. We respected this volume imbalance that we had here perfectly, beautifully. Took a quick buy, blocked, protected quickly. And then, of course, the sell. We had rebounded off of the VWAP. We had not only the breakout, we also had JGS, right? We had that confirming. This was a beautiful trade. This was our target on the day. It was a regular trading range gap. It kept going. We technically didn't fill that gap to the tick and to the point, but just leaving that out there. That turned out to be the low of the week. Fast forward until Wednesday, these are the trades we took. Turned out to, again, be a very disciplined week. We had a small imbalance in here. We did not trade back into it. I was patient. I was kind. I was mindful. I was demure, or however we say that word. Took the sell, captured. I think I barely got a little bit over that kind of 40, 60-ish points on this one. Again, let me review this trade real quick. Well, before I review this trade real quick, I should say, that's another thing, right? If I can't copy anymore, I can't use the ATM automatic trailing stop that I was using, right? I can't use that anymore. If I can't copy some kind of via copier that's going to allow this, it means I need to be flat in and flat out. So that's going to take some of a learning curve. And learning curve is the wrong word. Adjustment period. Anytime, in my opinion, you make a change to your trading plan, there's going to be this kind of negative curvature in your chart. That's been my experience over the last 10 years. And I don't think that's going to go away. So as of now, I'm not using any major copiers. I'm going to do group trend on Tradeovate until I decide another way. My team and the community has suggested I try 2 more. If you guys in the chat have any suggestions, by all means, let me know. But I have yet to find one that is reliable 100%. Like some of them are like 99. The 99 does not mean you're not going to lose your account on the hedges or you're going to lose your account on some way. I will say, to go back to the performance, if I look at what I changed in not only the crappy month, but, and I had a good reason for it. Sorry, this is taking a second to upload. There we go. I stopped using Trade Sinker, which I do think is a little bit more reliable, less problems in all fairness. It does still sometimes flop and it does act slow. But with everything going on and traveling, I stopped using it. It's a time suck. It takes a lot of time to go put 50 accounts in there from 8 different prop firms and set it all up and pick all the quantities. It's a lot of time. But the biggest change is I wasn't using that through most of April and or any of May. I haven't used it now in probably about 6 weeks. I do think Trade Sinker is a little bit more reliable than NinjaTrader's because, again, if NinjaTrader freezes up, you have to manually log into every single one of them. If Trade Sinker syncs up, you just have to log into NinjaTrader, right? So it kind of gives you a different backup, which I probably should have stuck with that. But back to the actual charts, I am going to be changing a little bit about how I manage my trades. So here we go. Not only do we have our kind of JGS setting up, but we're breaking above that VWAP. We do have that first close above. We retested. I was patient and then played out perfectly. Easy, well-disciplined, to execution, not over trading. I saw a lot of people get chopped up here. I was tempted to short this move. I didn't though, which I guess I gotta get a little bit of kudos in here. I was tempted to short this area. It technically would have been enough for the 40 points that I was looking for, but it just wasn't it. I was looking for the more, hate this terminology, but more A+ trades. And I know it might means I lose sometime. Fast forward to Thursday, man, I did not want to be a buyer. I wanted to be a buyer down here, which again is not necessarily my strategy, but it was a great buy and kind of catch that kind of pop on open. But by the time we got to here, we're up against the wall. This right here is a key monthly level that was just trading into that was, we had that little bit of a downward pressure overnight. We could sell it all night. I didn't want to be the trap. And we really was looking like we were trying to pull and then tank. And it's technically what it did a day or two later on a different time frame. Because again, I'm always looking at this bigger picture. Makes it harder to see on the smaller picture. But either way, I missed this buy. I watched this whole move. I was patient. I could have taken the reversal bounce play. It is part of one of my entry methods here. I just didn't want to take the unnecessary risk. We waited, confirmed. We got that nice little retest back in there to bull flag, if you will. And then, of course, played out perfectly, almost like to the tick to our target, which was awesome. So these white lines that we see up here are the levels that we had marked up from Thursday at 9 a.m. And if you go fast forward now, these are also the stopping points that we have now played in and around since then. So kind of cool to see that when you know how to find these key levels, you're going to get play off of them. Not every one of them is going to be perfect, but you get the point. So now, without further ado, I will tell you the two other things that I'm doing. I'm going to turn all this off. Here we are on the daily. Remember, the vast majority of this move has not been technical, meaning from all the way down there to the 23,700, we have not had very much of a technical retracement on that daily, which means in a 30-somewhat% move, our downside potential should be a reasonably large figure, 10%, okay? At a minimum. So even to validate this uptrend, we need about a 38% retracement into that, and that's on the smallest side. So of course, I am a little sell side biased. It does not mean we're going to go there. I would anticipate us closing below that monthly level that we just had marked up, but we're going to see. We're going to see how April closes. We are up an awful lot on the month. This monthly candle just looks monstrous, you guys. There are two monster candles for sure. We had April, which was just a monster candle. No wonder I got my butt beat. And then of course, May. Just, geez Louise. Looking for somewhat of a retracement back into that. I don't know that we're going to get back down to the 24,426s, but that would be a great target. Of course, there's some imbalances left behind. And if I go now all the way to the 4 hour, that's why I wanted to be there. I do remember, just took me a minute. Go to regular trading iron showers. If and when we start losing this, or if we open next week with a gap to the downside, figure we're probably going to gap down there to the 28,700. Sounds like a lot, but it's really only 400 points. Below there, look at all of these regular trading hours gaps we have. So just something to kind of be aware of. It doesn't mean we have to hit them, and we sure don't have to hit them this week or this month or heck, even this year. But if you're looking for some key stopping points, these are some of the major levels. But that's all I've got for this week. I solemnly swear to continue on my journey for this 6 and 7 figure payout. I've already surpassed the 6 figures in 2026. It's going to take an awful monumental task for me to hit the 7. I'm going to have to take it a lot more seriously, and I'm very likely going to have to trade differently. And I just have not yet decided how yet to do that, because obviously I could pull up one trade of 8 and trade 10 accounts with something like Futures Elite. Again, if you have not checked them out, like $60 an account, no activation fee. Make trade all 10. So that's kind of cool. But I would have to do that on multiple trade evades, which just is not the peaceful trading method that I want to be on. So I really need to rethink how can I accomplish that goal and what that's going to look like to still diversify per fund. I really love Apex, Trade Day, Alpha, Futures Elite, Lucid, obviously. Blue Guardian is where we've got all of our automation stuff running. If you have not definitely checked that out, you definitely should. So we've got quite a few people who are hitting their targets. He was testing something, that's the setting thing. But either way, who are hitting their targets every single day. Think $700, $500, $300 every single day, hands-free, using some of our, we caught this couple hundred point move last night, all hands-free, right? And it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, I'm not lying. But it's kind of cool to watch people doing the dang thing. So if you have not checked it out, definitely check out 6 Figure Trade Coach. We've got quite a few things going on. And once we launch this newer automation service and the whole big picture, that's going to change. So if you're not already in, make sure you definitely do. But back to prop firms, I would love to kind of keep the diversity. I just don't know yet how to do it. So it's going to be a work in progress that I keep working on. And then as for my own personal behavior, one of the things that I'm going to be working on is, I know it looks silly and it's just stupid, probably to some, but I don't think it is. These are all of my 5-minute entries that I would take or could take based off of my strategy. Obviously, I'm not going to have taken them all. There's 13 on today. This one right here is subjective because I could have got trapped into that because this technically does continue down there. But other than that, every single one is by the book, by how we already defined it. They're all worth more than 40 points, little less. That's the smallest one. I was like, I think one of them is marginally. And remember, your entry is never going to be exact. My entry is never even exact. It's 5, 10 more points away. But you get the idea. And if I go back every single day and I'm like, okay, what trade did I take? How did I execute on the plan that I say I'm doing? Because that's what trading really is. It's saying, hey, here's my strategy. Now, can I do my strategy? Can I follow it regardless of what I'm saying? Because that's our job. Our job is to come to the charts and do what we say we're going to do. And that's what some of these look like. So it's kind of cool to see how it plays out if I just do my strategy and do what I say I'm going to do. Obviously, there's going to be some losses throughout, but following that systematic approach of I'm really looking for that 1, 2, maybe 3 trades in a day, that's not a bad way to be at all. So that's cool. And that's about all I've got. So I will make another video next week and just going over that. I'll post my Top Step payout and my Futures League payout. And overall, as you could see, because of my TradeZilla, I'm probably not going to have a banger of a month. I might still be able to pull out 20 grand. Hold on, what's today? It's possible, okay? I might be able to pull out 25, maybe even 35, actually. I'm doing the math. My behavior would have to be perfect, and I would probably need everything. Ooh, it's possible, but we'll see. In between now and then, the only thing I can tell you is dollar for dollar, I still think you have the potential of making more with prop firms. However, I do think it's an enormous impact on your peace, on your strategy, on your psychology. And even for those of us who are net profitable prior to stepping into prop firms, I just think it takes away some of that concept. So this is me. Welcome to my journey. If you have any feedback, comments, things that you want me to go over, or topics you want to talk about psychologically, definitely drop them in the chat below, because that's what I want to do. Is I want to build up this community of people who are working through the hard stuff, the tough stuff, the stuff that's not sexy to talk about. We've got this one guy in our chat, in our community, who's it's a dopamine addiction, right? He can kill the chart. He can do the dang thing. He can do it quick, but doing it quick doesn't matter if we give it back. And that goes for me too. It is not a dig on anybody. I can do some amazing things, but it doesn't matter if I can't keep it, because I could do right for a year to the point where it is $2.1 million to $2.1 million. And that's a hit too, because of all that darn red. Ugh, that was painful. But I'm still here. We're still doing the dang thing. You can see our accuracy has definitely went down, but I will definitely update you guys up next week. Go from there. Hopefully I can start to kind of creep this back up just a little bit. I don't need up a lot, but just a little bit. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.